Mickey van der Ven and Kevin Danso received praise from a number of pundits. A report states that Dominic Solanke could be on his way out of Spurs in January. A BBC pundit praises Spurs and Thomas Frank's influence since he became Tottenham manager. And Thomas Frank's thoughts on the win over Everton. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Okay, let's get into it. TBR Football report that Mickey van der Ven has taken his game to the next level by adding a threat from set pieces to his arsenal as suggested by Gary Neville. The 24-year-old has 5 goals in 13 games across all competitions for Thomas Frank's team this season, making him the team's leading goal scorer so far. Van der Ven's importance to Tottenham is clear and has only increased with the defender adding goals to his game. Speaking about the Dutch defender, Neville told the Gary Neville podcast, "He's always looked great, Van der Ven. You just look at him with that left foot and the way he strides forward and his presence. But you know, 5 goals from set pieces, you start to add that to your game as well. Danso did very well alongside him." Currently, as TBR Football exclusively revealed, Vicario is prioritising Van der Ven's new contract to reward him for his superb performances. Romero has already signed a new deal, so if Spurs can get Van der Ven locked down too, their defence will be set for quite some time. And Troy Deeney told BBC Sport when talking about his team of the week, any centre-half who can keep clean sheets and gets 2 goals has to go in the team for me. I wanted to put Gabriel in, but I just thought Van der Ven's performance was very good in a game where I thought Spurs could struggle. They've been poor the last couple of weeks, and it's a huge win for them as well. Kevin Danso had an immense game against Everton, according to Sky pundit Jamie Redknapp, who thought the defender really stepped up with Christian Romero missing. Tottenham paid £25 million for Danso, which Redknapp had suggested a bargain given the current state of play in the transfer market. After the game, Redknapp told Sky Sports, "I thought he was immense. And when you haven't got your captain, your leader, you need someone who's going to step up, and that partnership looks really good. When you look at the current market, £20 million from Lens is not that expensive. He's quick, he's aggressive. If you want to play a back 3, obviously you have 3 really strong centre-backs, but he just adds so much to your team. He looks like a really solid citizen." Meanwhile, Ashley Young also hailed the Austrian international, adding, "When you come into the Premier League, it's a tough ask. Unless you get used to it straight away, it's going to be hard. Whether they're playing in a back 3 or back 4, you've just got to adjust. At times last season, it was tough, but I think he's stepped up really well in the place of Romero, and the partnership between him and Mickey van der Ven today was fantastic. Danso was defensively excellent against Everton as he managed 18 clearances, which is the most made by a Tottenham player in the Premier League since Jan Vertonghen. The defender also won 6 of his 6 duels during the win on Merseyside to help Spurs keep a clean sheet. Without a doubt, Romero's passing is a miss for Frank's team, but Danso more than makes up for it with his superb ability to defend the box. After 9 matches, Spurs have the joint 2nd best defensive record in the Premier League, and the 26-year-old has been key towards their big improvements at the back. Football Insider claimed that Tottenham manager Thomas Frank has been unimpressed by striker Dominic Solanke during his tenure at the club. The word coming from Spurs training HQ is that Frank doesn't fancy the £60 million centre-forward. Last season, Solanke was first choice under Ange Postecoglou, making 45 appearances across all competitions and scoring 16 goals. The 28-year-old has struggled badly with injuries this term, playing just 49 minutes of football in total, but Frank has decided he wants a new striker nonetheless. Since completing a move from Bournemouth to North London in the summer of 24, Solanke has been plagued by injury issues, missing large periods due to ankle and knee issues. Tottenham and Frank may look to replace the former Chelsea and Liverpool striker during the January transfer window. Sources say that an ideal world, Tottenham would bring in a striker when the window reopens, but it's notoriously difficult to do business in January. Therefore, their more likely scenario is that Frank will have to wait to utilise his current squad rather than relying on additions. Ex-Spurs player and BBC pundit Danny Murphy has been talking about the impact Thomas Frank has had since he became Spurs boss. Murphy states it's been a refreshing sight this Premier League season to see clubs like Bournemouth, Sunderland and Spurs punching above their weight. But it is Tottenham Hotspur under the guidance of Thomas Frank who are quickly emerging as one of the league's most intriguing success stories. Few expected Frank to make such an immediate impact after taking charge, but with Spurs sitting comfortably in third place, his influence is already clear. The Dane has instilled organisation, resilience and structure into a side that last season looked fragile and far easier to play against. Frank's first priority was to shore up a leaky defence, and he's done exactly that. Spurs are now a team defined by discipline, strong set pieces and a work ethic that makes them difficult to beat. While some fans have called for more creativity and open play, the improvement in the defensive stability has provided a platform for long-term progress. Tottenham's attacking play has at times lacked spark, with much of their inspiration coming from the brilliance of Mohamed Kudus. However, that should change as injured stars Dejan Kulusevski, Dominic Solanke and James Maddison return to action. The recent 3-0 win at Everton underlined Frank's pragmatic approach. Fullbacks stayed deep, the side stayed compact and Spurs struck decisively from set pieces. Some criticised the team for sitting back in the second half, but given the midweek Champions League exertions against Monaco, Frank's cautious tactics made sense. This version of Tottenham may not yet be the free-flowing attacking force fans crave, but it is clearly a team with identity and direction. Supporters can see the Thomas Frank effect, a side that works tirelessly, defends intelligently and plays with purpose. As seen during his time at Brentford, Frank's teams evolved. The early Brentford sides were direct and pragmatic before gradually becoming more expansive. The same evolution is expected at Spurs, where Frank has a deeper and more talented squad to work with. For now, Tottenham's focus is on consolidating their place near the top while continuing to build cohesion and attacking confidence. The signs are promising, points are coming even without peak performances, and the belief within the squad is growing. Thomas Frank has given Tottenham what they have long lacked: structure, spirit and stability. The flair will come in, but for now Spurs fans can finally see a team with a plan and a manager capable of delivering it. Thomas Frank felt Guillermo Vicario's performance in our fine win at Everton toppled his display against AS Monaco in the UEFA Champions League last week. Vic produced another 2 saves for the highlight reel in the second half at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, a reaction palm away to his left to keep out Beto's overhead kick from 6 yards, then getting down to a twice deflected effort from Iliman Ndiaye. Frank said, "Vicario, man of the match against Monaco. Today, I like the performance even more," said Thomas. "I think it was complete. I think the way he dealt with the feet, nice composure. We found a little bounce, went to go long, good out of the area and needs to be out of the area on all set pieces." And then, of course, 2 great saves, key saves, especially on the overhead kick. At the other end of the pitch, Randall Colomwani made his first start and completed an hour shift. "Yeah, happy," said Thomas. "I think, again, good steps going forward. Good to get 60 minutes, get into him. I think he looks good. Of course, there's much more to come. He's not physically where we want him to be, but a good first step." Asked about Randall in his post-match press conference, Thomas Frank added, "It was pleasing to see his first 60 minutes. He's still building his physicality and sharpness. I'm pleased with what I saw, but it's the first step, so there's more to come. I think at times I like some of the movement and interactions with the front four, but that is an ongoing project or process." Meanwhile, there was a tweak in the forward areas with Mo Kudus moving inside from the right into the number 10 role, with Brendan Johnson starting on the right and Javi Simmons on the left of the front four with Randall Colomwani up top. Frank said, "We tried to mix it up a little bit. I think another one we need to praise is Brendan Johnson. I think the way he came in and solved the task, I liked his directness. I think he was positive going forward, very good defensively, very happy with him. We needed him with what he can do and then tried to have Mo in there because I think it fits with Mo and Javi, and then Jed came up a little higher." Well, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Firstly, the praise Mickey van der Ven is getting. Absolutely justified. I thought Mickey van der Ven was immense against Everton on Sunday. 2 goals. Just shows how good he is in the air. And if that delivery is good from set pieces, from corners, which it really has been this season, we're making it past the front man, which is of course, what a lot of people criticised Eriksen for when he took corners back when he was a Tottenham player. We seem to be going a lot deeper, more direct, almost right on top of the keeper. And if Mickey van der Ven or Kevin Danso or whoever it is challenging for the ball in there, you're going to create panic, and there's going to be goals. There's going to be plenty of goals from set pieces this year. And Thomas Frank's come out and said that set pieces are something they're working on in training. And long may it continue. I don't mind a set piece. Of course, you want to see goals from open play as well. But you've only got to look at Arsenal down the road. They've got a lot of their goals from set pieces and are probably top because they are so good at set pieces. So it's becoming more and more important in the modern game to be able to utilise set pieces, whether that be throws, corners, free kicks. And I fully expect us to get a lot of goals this season from set pieces. But coming back to Mickey van der Ven, what a player. I think we should be looking to tie him down to a long-term deal, give him what he wants, and to have him and Romero as our number one centre-back pairing for hopefully many years, then that is a really good base to build on. Having said that, Kevin Danso came in and I thought he was fantastic as well. Always looks strong, always looks like there's not really a drop-off. Obviously a different player from Romero. He's not going to play those through balls through with pace like Romero does. Slightly less aggressive than Romero, but he's excellent in the air. And again, had a brilliant game on Sunday against Everton. So the praise both the centre-backs from the Everton game are getting, Danso and Van der Ven, fully justified in my opinion. And Danso, what an addition. Just really a small price we paid for Kevin Danso. A really good bit of recruitment by Spurs. Kevin Danso's rarely let us down. He's come in, he's done a brilliant job every time I've seen him play, to be fair. So well done to him. This report that states that Dominic Solanke could be on his way out of Spurs in January. I'm not sure about this one, to be honest with you. It would seem a bit weird that Thomas Frank's not impressed with Dominic Solanke in training. He's not really been back in training or seen him do anything. So I'm not sure there's much truth in this. Are they going to look to move Dominic Solanke on in January? I personally can't see it. Like I say, Solanke's only just got back on the grass, really, after having his, obviously, injury issues and then his operation he had to have. So how could Thomas Frank really make an assessment of him as a player? He can't have done. So I don't think there's much truth in this. However, the story is out there, so I thought I'd mention it. But get down in the comments, let me know. Could you see this happening? Could you see Spurs moving on Solanke? If we did sell Solanke in January, who are we going to bring in January? Very few players around of top quality in January. As we know, it's a difficult month to do transfers. Yes, you can do them, but you do end up paying top dollar for players. So I'm not sure I make much of this, but get down in the comments, let me know. Would you move Dominic Solanke on in January? Very, very strange story, but as I say, could be true. There could be some truth in it. Who knows? Danny Murphy praising Thomas Frank. I agree with a lot of what Danny Murphy said here, actually. I don't always agree with what Danny Murphy's got to say, but it does make sense. I think, look, I've said before that the football under Thomas Frank, and a lot of people out there have said that football's a bit boring at times, to be honest. Looking at it, can we make a full assessment of it till all our influential players are back, the players that create more than others, like your likes of Madison and Kulusevski, and what the impact they can have in this team? Even Udogie, when he's back, obviously he loves bombing down the left wing and creating chances. So, look, Thomas Frank has come in and steadied the ship. There's no doubt about that, 100%. And we're also used to chaos around Spurs, perhaps because there's no chaos at the moment. That's why everything feels a bit meh on occasion, you know, because there have been some boring games. But I suppose if you're winning games, you'd win every game 1-0 if it meant you won every game, wouldn't you? So it mean you won the league and won everything. Not going to happen, by the way, but you know what I mean. I suppose it's this balance, because we've gone from the sort of madness of Ange, which I did love on occasion, absolutely, that fast, free-flowing football, attack, to this more pragmatic approach. I guess it's just adjusting to that and the expectations that come with it. Ultimately, look, it's good to see us having a really good record at the moment. And as was said in that article, you know, we are third in the league. And as people have said, everybody seems to be beating everybody, with Sunderland being up there, you know. The season finished now, you think, well, but look, Sunderland doing really well. I think it's brilliant for the Premier League. I really do. Seeing different teams up there, other teams struggling. and we're just riding it at the moment. We are just riding it, but we've got tough games coming up. We really have. We've got United coming up. We've got Arsenal. We've got Chelsea coming up. We've got PSG and Copenhagen in the Champions League. Games are coming thick and fast. So we need the players back that are injured. It looks like some of the players are going to be back hopefully in November. Solanke, Udogie, Kulusevski, hopefully late November, early December, but it's going to take him a long time to get up to speed. But I'll be interested to see what this team looks like in a month or two's time. Are we going to be playing the same type of football, or is that, or those players coming back, is that going to allow us to be a bit more expansive? I do like the fact that there seems to be no drama really around Tottenham at the moment, but we're in a good position. There's no denying that we're in a good position. We just need to keep winning games. So let's hope that continues. And obviously the next game we play in the Premier League is against the old rival Chelsea. So if we can win against Chelsea, then that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? And finally, Thomas Frank's thoughts on the win over Everton. Totally agree with what you said. Vicario really stepped up. Got a bit of criticism over the last few games beforehand, before Monaco and, of course, Everton. But he's almost like he's taken that criticism on board and he said, right, I'm going to prove to you why I'm number one. I am number one at Spurs. And he's produced some ridiculous saves and outstanding displays, to be honest, from Vicario. So that's really good to see. And long may that continue. He's still got issues about his game that I'd like to see him improve on. I don't like the way he punches all the time. There was a couple of occasions he punched when I think just catch it. We all know he's got to work with his feet a bit more, but undoubtedly with Vicario, shot stopping ability, he's got to be up there. Got to be up there as one of the best in the Premier League for me. Sensational, but obviously work to do, and he's got to keep it going. He's going to face a lot more shots this season, so let's hope he can stay on top form. And Thomas Frank talking about Randall Kolo-Muani, I thought he looked very good up front, actually. Obviously didn't get much service, as is the case with anybody who's been up there this season, whether it's been Richarlison or Tell. Didn't get much service, but worked very, very hard. Done the dirty work as a centre forward, to be honest. I was quite impressed with him. He's fast, he's strong, he's aggressive, which is what I like to see in my number 9. So 60 minutes out of him, that was good to see. He seemed to come through it injury-free, which is great. And let's hope he can develop and get that first goal for Tottenham, because I think he could be the one that's going to take Richarlison's place, to be honest with you, if he continues to put in performances like that. Having said that, Richarlison, when he came on, very unselfish, setting up Pat Matasar for our third goal. A good cushioned header to him at the far post to seal the deal for Spurs. But get down in the comments, let me know, what was your thoughts on Randall Kolo-Muani? Do you think he should be our first choice number 9? And what do you think our front line should look like? Because yesterday, I thought it was pretty good. I thought Bentancur was getting forward as well a bit more, rather than just sitting back. So it was good to see. It wasn't the perfect performance, but 3-0 at Everton against a team who've not lost at their new stadium. I'll take that all day, every day of the week. I thought it was a decent professional performance from Spurs. But as always, get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the performance over at Everton, or anything else you want to talk about as a Spurs fan right now. And as always, come on you Spurs.